At some point, most women find themselves on a crossroad: motherhood, family, or career. Blessed are the people who have a rock solid support system. But for the rest of us, the choice is pretty obvious. And after the sabbatical, getting back to work is like reinventing the wheel. She did it. And how? Applying for a government grant and getting a big one. Thriving so much that her husband left his full time job to support her. Isn't that what dreams are made of? Also, bioremediation, Mother Nature way of doing things, and kachra kachra nahi hai. Once again in conversation with Dr. Vanita Prasad. Ma'am, I'm so happy to have you back again. We had a wonderful talk last time, and then a lot of questions kept popping in my head, which I really wanted to ask you. So, going back to the times when you said that your father was the figure who gave you all the answers and saying stuff like "Lohe ne maar le liya." So it reminds me of my father a lot because he used to say a lot of stuff in childhood जो मुझे तब समझ में नहीं आता था, but when I grew up, I could understand, and probably I'm this happy a person because of him, because of the stuff he said. And then again, your husband, he literally left his job to support you. That's quite an amount of faith in you. So my husband supports me a lot in everything I want to do. And then your kids, they inspired you to do a lot of different things. So when there's a saying that there is a behind every successful man there's a woman, I believe behind every successful woman there are a few men, not just one but few. Do you agree to that?
I will say I will agree to that, but I will be more precise on this that when we say it's a woman or a man, it's family which is with you. Because by
Okay.
chance, I had only sons. It might be I had a daughter. So she
Okay.
also has to be behave in the same way what my sons have done it. So it
Okay.
should
Okay.
not be gender specific, which I feel. It's always a family which is supporting you. So my mother has equally supported me. My mother was only 8th pass.
Oh.
She was only 8 pass. She lost his father at a very early age. So she always supported me with this thing that you have to do the studies because nobody likes it too much of me engraved in studies at that point of time when 9th, 10th I used to study. So my mother made me a point that she showed to my grandma that I can do every household course, embroidery to stitching to everything. She made me learn everything what a housewife has to do. Correct. I was talking in 1975 to 79, that period. So in eighth, fourth, fifth, when I was going through that science curiosity in my mind, where I told you I was only 8 years old when the science curiosity started in my mind. At that point of time, from 8 to 15, that teenage, my mother made it a point that by 10th holidays, she made me learn stitching, doing salwars and pajamas and everything, doing knitting, sweaters and everything. She made it. You know that you have to show that your daughter knows all this
Yes.
stuff.
Oh God.
So she made everything and then she gave me the study material also. Okay,
Okay.
you have been trained on this. Now you have to prove on this. But Papa told me in fifth standard itself that you have to get a scholarship. So it's both of them who supported me. It's not only Papa. But if my Papa was not supportive to my mother also, then it should not
Right.
be the case. So yeah,
Correct.
so
Correct.
that is what I always figure it out that I should not say it is in a gender specific way, but I will say that because that mentality of the people has to be mindset of mentality or the mindset of the people has to be little different, has to be little different. It should not be gender bias that this is the work which woman has to do, this work which male has to do. And that's where I think my both of my son were supporting to us because they know everything. They know household chores, everything. In spite of I don't have
Wow.
a daughter, my son started cooking when he was in 8th and he's staying in Germany. He does whole of cooking at his home.
Wow.
So that is what has been changed in our family, which I can
Okay.
give it as an constructive thing, because my parents also has followed that same thing, that no work is for somebody's specific gender. And the other thing was that you know, as much as skills you know, it will be helping you. Even driving is a skill if you know.
Correct. So what I meant was, because women always got credit, they raise a family, and they are kind of the support system behind everyone. But men don't get their credit when it's
Correct.
due, right? So that's
Correct.
where I say that there are men behind women also, successful women also, and not just women.
Yeah, on that point I will agree, and that's what I'm saying. If my father was not that supportive to my mother or to me, it would not been happen, because if he has that same male dominating figure, then we could not have a change. And same thing has happened with my husband also, because he has this mindset that we have to. When my son has done his first tea making in fifth standard,
Huh.
uh,
Oh.
so my mother-in-law said that I generally use help of my husband for the, मेरे बेटे से तो काम कराती है, मेरे पोते से भी काम कराती है.
Oh
So
my
that
God.
mindset I hurted me. But immediately my husband told, you need not to listen to this thing. You have to give him the
Perfect.
skills, because he has to be independent. And luckily we have taught him. I am not saying I have taught him. Yeah, this is a good example. If the man will have that kind of mindset, yeah, society will change, because somehow our
Change.
society is still man dominated.
Uh, yeah. So, how many years did you spend as a homemaker away from your career completely?
I took a break of, I think, 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
So, that's a very, very long time because you get stuck with all the daily chores. As in, it's never ending. If you fix the house, kal 2 दिन में फिर से गंदा हो जाएगा. So, there is nothing exciting. It's a very routine kind of thing. So,
No,
at
but
that,
7 years,
at
when I have to take a break because of my illness. I have to take this break when I was getting recovered. But I made it a point that 8:30 or 9 o'clock I am out of the house doing something or other.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
that was the routine. And in the evening, I started taking some of the tuition classes. As I was telling you, I
okay,
always taught even my son. So I love teaching. So I used to take
okay,
my son's own classes. But in Singapore, when I was in Singapore, I used to teach Hindi only to the kids, because
okay.
there were a lot of South Indians, Tamilians are there, na? So in when they are
Right.
studying in a Indian school, they have to learn Hindi. So they find it very difficult. So I used to take Hindi tuitions. So I was
Okay.
I was sitting at home, but not as ideally as mostly housewives are. Like I have seen my mother routine.
Correct.
That routine was very
Right.
different, because she was always involved doing this. I was not doing so much of cleaning, all kind of other sort of works. I was always
Oh, okay.
divided my work in, because there was no helping hand for us. In Singapore, we have
Correct,
to
correct.
do all the work.
Everything on your
So
own.
there also the work has been divided within the family. Every time kids have their food, they will wash their utensils, uh, and they will be doing this work, that work. Some works were divided among the family. That way we have divided the work. It was never a single person's
A
responsibility.
single person's job.
So
Okay.
that is where I find it different, that I have not gone into that um,
Rut.
chola of that I am now housewife and I am doing all the things. I
Ah,
have never done it. I used to go to library, and that's where I could got a lot of confidence, because Singapore has very good libraries. So I used to go to library.
wow.
I was not doing job, but I used to go library. I used to go to all kinds of spiritual, because I told you I have done my Brahmkumari's spirituality course there only. So I have joined the extra things which I wanted to do. But
Okay.
I am out of the house for at least 5 to 6 hours, not doing something. Even tuition, if I am doing it at home also, I can't do any other work. Now I have to take the class. So that's how I have arranged my time, that I will be doing something in 8 hours.
Okay. Okay, but even then, you were doing a lot of different things, but not something pertaining to your career or something that you wanted to do initially, your goal. So, was there any lowest point where you felt कि अब मेरे से नहीं हो पाएगा अभी तो this is it अभी this is what I'm going to do for my entire life?
नहीं, ऐसा मुझे कभी नहीं आया, बट आई ऑलवेज दिस आई हैव इवन टोल्ड माय सन, बिकॉज़ a lot of people have this doubt which you are asking me. Could you able to do
Right,
it? So I told everybody, if you learn driving car or if you learn swimming once, you will not forget it. It will take you little time to practice, and that you have to give. Initially, if you have to start, you have to give more hours for first 6 months. Then you will be on the track. Correct. You will not. That's where I always appreciate my father, that who told you have to acquire skills. If you have acquired any skill, you will not be losing that skill. Only thing you have
true.
to brush up, and that will need an extra effort which you have to be ready with. And that is where everybody says you have to go above your comfort zone. It's only your
True.
comfort zone. It's not the problem of this thing that you will not be able to do it. It is because you have to put an extra effort to do that, you will not be willing to do that.
Very true.
So that
Wow,
is,
that is great.
yeah, so that is where
Beautifully
I,
put.
huh? Yeah.
It's
So,
beautifully put that if you the challenge is actually coming out of the comfort zone and not really getting onto the track. एक बार
yeah.
निकल जाओगे then तो you will be on track, but yeah,
You
getting
only
out
have
of
to
it.
take that first step, because it is very hard to take that first step. It takes a lot of courage. I will say a lot of courage. But in my case, I think courage came to me of restarting it because of my elder son, who felt that Mama has taken a back seat because of making us comfortable. So
Right, right.
that's what I
Upbringing,
wanted to
right.
tell them, that that is not because both of you. It is our own choices. It's life, and we have taken some choices. Every time you will be having one or two things in your hand, and you have to choose one. It may be right, it may not be right, but at that particular point of time, it was right for us, and that's
What's
why
the
we have taken that.
priority?
Huh,
Right,
that's why
right.
we have taken that step. So
All
those are
right.
the things which I also told, but that was, I think, the main supportive or main courage for me to take this step, because I wanted, and that's what I always tell to everybody, that what I wanted to demonstrate while coming back to this particular entrepreneurship or demonstrating this, was something that I have not lost any of the skill to my kids, which I
Beautiful.
could able to do it. Now the goal is to really serve the society, which I started at very young, and both of them also want that we should do something good for the planet, because what I am doing is contributing a drop towards the mitigating climate change effect, a drop.
Perfect.
But that's where my kids also support me, because if that, I always tell them, you can survive, but what about your children or our grandchildren? Where will they live? We have to give something to them, and that's why we always say that we have to work on this goal to make Mother Earth green, and that's where the mission of REVY comes into picture. Now we have another mission, that is making this contribution the best we can do, and that's where the whole cycle completes as a woman for me, because I played the role of a daughter, then a wife, and then a mother, and now totally
You
devoted to.
back to your own self, your own goal. That is fantastic. So,
Yeah.
if you had to condense a message for women who are on a sabbatical, who had successful careers earlier, but now they're kind of stuck in the routine of having kids or having in-laws, aging in-laws, how would you
Aging in-laws is a
frame
is
the
a difficult
message?
task, and you have to manage it as you have managed your kids. So and that's where I think Indian societies are far better than the Western society, because old age management is one of the things which we have done very efficiently in previous years. But I should say that we need to really see about that, how we best we can do that. As I told you, that I wanted to have a plan B for the kids. something comes to me
Right.
for the, because they also become like kids growing, but managing those people are really tough task, really a tough task, and we have to
Very true.
really, yeah, the I think we have to look forward to some of the other nations how they are managing, because their attitudes are very different, and we should come up with that kind of strategy. I always say we have to imbibe. Globalization means, if we really globalized something, best practices which they have done on to the personal, on to the social level, that should be imbibed. So
Okay.
those are some of the things which I always feel. For me, right now we had this issue of my mother-in-law is a dementia patient. So we have to manage her.
Okay.
So we can't just leave that, those things. Now you have to manage all those, because that's where the family. I feel joint family has a very good advantage, and that gives
Very
you
true.
an emotional strength. And now everybody, even HR people, are looking for people who are having high EQ and now SQ level. IQ has been far behind now.
Very true.
Correct.
Beautiful, ma'am. So I was saying, if you could give out a message for women who are on a sabbatical, what would it be?
I always
Just to
said that
motivate them to come out of the shell.
being a woman and being a mother is something which is only given to you. No man can have this kind of this thing, and please enjoy that particular emotion which is given to you, and you can do the best, because nurturing power is with you. Nurturing power is with the woman, so she has to play that role. I think society, even when we are talking about this particular thing on women forums also, I always say that we need to give that, leaves are always given. Those 3 4 5 7 years has to be little bit flexible, and that's why I'm trying to create my own company with the flexi hours. In my company,
Oh,
we have given that option that you can come only for 3 to 4 hours, do your work, and go back home. But they have to find their own ways. It's not necessary that you should go out. What I am telling you, but you have to keep yourself, your dream, in some pocket, nurturing it little bit. Don't give it. And being a
hmm.
biotechnologist, I will always say that you can make it like a sport, but don't make it like a dead seed. It should be like
Yes.
a spore in your heart. You should keep whatever you want to do in your heart. You have other responsibility, because you only have 24 hours and you have to manage some other work. So do that on priority. Keep it in as a spore form. Once the conditions are favorable, then this spore will come out. So that is where Mother Nature has already provided that seeds. You are eating wheat, but moment it gets a favorable condition, it gives you whole lot
Yes.
of fruits again. Correct. So that is the Mother Nature way of doing things. So keep it like a seed in your heart. Keep nurturing that seed in whatever way. So that's where I say keep improving your own skill set, whatever. That's what I told you. I was
Okay.
going to the library. I always used to attend all the conferences which are happening in and around there. Maybe if you don't want to spend a lot of money, then also there are a lot of lectures or things happening around which you can keep in mind. That will add to
Favorite.
your skill. That is your passive learning. Don't
Beautiful.
get distracted with just only the other part, then you will not be able to come back.
Wow.
If you had a very good comfort zone, you will not be able to penetrate, because the escape velocity needed to penetrate that
Right.
big circle is too much. From where you will get that? So try to make things, because I always keep it like this is your duty, you have to do that in 24 hours. So keep that in mind. Don't do it as a sacrifice.
Man, very true, very true. So, wait, I'm talking to you and it's so inspiring. It's so enriching the conversation. So, I'm very curious to know who inspires you. Be it some teacher, some family relative, anybody, or some public figure.
I don't know, but my papa, I used to look to my papa, because he has a lot of things which he has given me. So I generally talk to him when I need something. But I'm really inspired by Sudha Murthy, Kiran Shaw ma'am, because for looking as a role model for me, Kiran Shaw ma'am is actually a biotechnological person who has created the whole this thing, and then the Sudha Murthy ma'am and how she has raised her kids also is something which I look forward to. So these are two things, and when I
Right.
really started working on to the sanitation, Patakji and Mashelkar sir was my motivation. So these four people I can tell you who has given me the motivation in the terms of how they are doing. I always try to read them when I am finding it something very difficult, because Bindeshwar Pathak sir has done the Sulabh Shauchalaya. He was the one man who has done
Okay.
whole sanitation thing. In '93, when I switched my PhD thesis, he was just starting that Sulabh thing. Sulabh movement was starting at that point. And
Okay.
Mashelkar sir used to say
Okay.
that they don't want to have a brain drain. One of the reason I have not gone for a postdoc is that when they are supporting that CSIR fellowship is given to the PhD student, and then they go abroad and they are doing the work there and not here. So he
Oh,
used to call it as brain drain. That needs to stop.
brain drained.
Yeah,
Yes.
that needs to stop. So that is one of the things why I don't want and why I'm doing it here only after going to Singapore and coming back. So these are two, 3 points which I have, which was here all the time with me. The most inspiration which has come up is there with me is because of my parents. Then
Family.
because of my parents who have given me, and then they have given me that platform where I could able to build on. And when I look for the role model, and that's very important to have role models like that.
Wow. I'm sure a lot of people will learn. And I'm just curious, from what I've talked with you, I don't see anywhere you having a regret. But if I have to ask a question, that do you have any regrets? So is there something that you'd want to change about your life? What would it be?
uh, Regret, if you say, it will be like I will change the time when I could not able to put the hydrogen into the society.
Can you please explain a bit?
When I have finished my PhD, I was trying to convince a lot of people that this can be a future fuel, but people were not talking about hydrogen at that particular time, and that decarbonization is really needed. Hydrogen will, when we burnt, will be giving you only water, so we need to produce hydrogen. I could not able to convince a lot of people at that time. So if I could able to do that at 30 years back, so climate effects which are happening right now will not be
Oh,
there. So that is one thing which I wanted to. Uh, I regret of that I could not have that kind of uh, convincing power for, I will say, the society to convince those people for hydrogen as fuel. Correct. That is one point I
yeah.
had a regret in my mind, and other is I don't believe too much into myself. So I get carried away with the people around me sometimes.
That
So
happens.
that so I listen to a lot of people and get carried away. Although I'm little bit, people say you also was telling that I have done something because I believed in myself, but that too for that moment, it is a long term. You
Yes.
find that, but at that particular time, you can't be onto what I am saying is correct. I get carried away with those people. That is one thing as
Very.
a person I want to change in myself, and that gives me
Uh,
sometime anger also, because you feel irritated and other thing. So that is one thing which I wanted to change as a person. And if as a circumstances, I had a regret that I could not able to crack the MBBS
uh,
exam, so I wanted to study that. uh, but that is not as a regret, but I wanted to read about neurobiology, or I will say the how the mind function. That I will do, definitely I will do it.
lovely.
That how this emotion works, how this emotion works.
Oh,
It's basically a neuroscience, but since we are now researcher and I can be a part of any group to study that particular aspect of science and spirituality, where a lot of people are trying to see the effects on meditation, effect of meditation on ourselves and other things. So those are the things. So that is not a regret kind of thing, but regret is very clearly is, if I could able to convince those people that hydrogen is important and we should switch to hydrogen as a fuel 30 years back, we could have made a lot of difference.
Oh.
And India can
No, I
go,
also feel the same for you. I wish you were able to do
yeah,
that back
India
then.
could be on forefront of hydrogen economy right now. Yeah, that is
Chalo.
one. If I had been allowed to change one thing, I could have changed this thing.
Wow. So, since you talked about meditation and science and all those things, one of my questions that fancies me big time is science or religion. And asking this to a scientist is something that I can get high on. What is it? What is it according to you?
According to me, religion is nothing. It's just a way of living has been given to us, because this machine, this sophisticated machine, which Sadhguruji always say, human computer or the brain is the supercomputer we have, but we have not got a manual with this, how to use it. Correct.
Right.
So religion somehow gives you that kind of manual that how to use this particular body, but science gives you the tools to really explore those things. And now religion, that's where religion and spirituality is coming together, where metaphysics is taking that thing na? So it's all part of whole. It's only one way of teaching, that religious teaches you how to really manage yourself, manage as a society. And when we are talking about the other religions, every religion is teaching you how to deal with that particular society, and there are some norms which is built around. So religion is giving you a way of life, and science is giving you tool to really understand those, because these are belief systems. You only have, and that's where Hinduism has the maximum thing, because you can question those beliefs. I have done this with my younger son, so I know that, because we have done this. We have dug down to the history of every religion and how all of them started. So
Wow,
Hinduism
you've
has
done that?
no foundation, founder kind of thing.
Huh, huh,
That's why
that's
it's
right.
called as Sanatana Dharma. The rishis, which the older rishis have done that, they are somehow having a scientific brain. They are doing things scientifically, and then in between, when the bhakti thing and everything is come up in the society, there were different geographies and everything has come up. At that particular time, we have made a very stringent norm around things. Till that, the things were very flexible.
Fling.
Even Gita has been
Okay.
written in Kurukshetra itself. Somebody is asking question and somebody is answering it. That is what is Gita. It's only discussion. It is not giving you any norms. You are now making norms, reading it again and again. But nobody has given you norms at that point of time. So that's where I understand that whatever has been given to us in the form of religion is to make our life easy.
Oh.
But first thing is being human, which we have lost. Which we have lost. Being human is very, very important. It's above all religion and above all science.
Beautiful.
You have to
Beautifully
be
put.
a human first, try to be a good human, and then whatever you want to follow, you
Follow.
follow
Perfect.
religion, science, and whatever, it is okay, but follow the humanity rules first.
Perfect, perfect. So, since we were discussing Gita, let's talk about karma. And karma is something that God, in your own words, sent you back for. So, tell me about your dream for Revi. What is it that you want to materialize with Revi? Something that you want to change in this world. And I'm really excited about what you are about to do. So, please tell me about
With
that.
Revi, my main vision is to make, that's what we are saying, that make our Mother Earth greener and provide uh, sustainable solution for waste and wastewater treatment. That's the goal. So what I mean by this is that there is a Mother Nature way of treating everything. She does everything, na. Ganga itself has bacteriophages, and that's why Ganga get clean previously when we are not dumping all the things there. So nature
Right.
have created a lot of ways to do things. So need to identify those things, and that is come under a bigger umbrella called bioremediation. So REVY focus will be to create these kind of technologies, which which can be used in actual ground, because we have created some mistakes. Correct. We have done some of things wrongly, but somebody has to correct it. So rather than correcting it with, then again the man-made messages ways only will be little difficult. But what we have to understand is nature way, natural way, and that's why nature-based treatment methods and other things are coming up now. So we have to uh, observe nature in a way that we can understand them, and science gives us those tools to understand nature in a way that we can apply it. So we have to understand nature, and then we have to find an application. So we have to be doing some kind of technologies which are sustainable, and REVY will be my when I started it is with this particular thing, that first I wanted to do the biogas, because biogas can give you a very good organic waste management criteria, wherein you are getting your own energy. If you will be doing at your household only, if the farmer is doing at his household only, from his cow dung and his other organic waste, he can produce his fertilizer, his energy, he can cook his food. He need not to dependent on LPG, which he is not getting, or he or she does not go to go get woods to burn. So that kind of technology exists which we can use, but we need to bring it to a useful ways. Na? Correct. That is where the science plays an important role. Here, religion will not play an important role. But if you are not kind exploiting some kind of business, then if you are a good human being, you will be doing a business in ethical way, correct? Which will be giving
True.
benefit to the all stakeholders who are involved, the user also. Correct. So that is what I always say. So my in Revi we are having this plan of putting up this biomethane. The first we are developing, we have developed the second product, which is for decomposition of stubble, because farmer faces this problem of burning this paddy fields, ना जो दिल्ली में होता है,
Okay.
stubble जलाते हैं, and then you are having all air pollution. So why they are doing this? Because they want to clean their field and they want to grow the next crop. So we have to come up with some solution which solve this particular problem. So we have done a decomposer which can decompose that particular stubble in 7 days at their farm, which
Wow.
can be converted to a biofertilizer. So this is again a kind of bioremediation. We have not used any of the chemical products in this, correct? Then we are in the third thing, we are trying to do something which is having every organic waste can be processed in single go. Right now, we are processing our organic solid waste in some other way, like composting or doing something, and the sewage wastewater treatment in another way, and fecal sludge is lying
Hmm.
somewhere else. If we can bring together all the three things and digest in single process, this process we are demonstrating within Amrit grant. We have got an Amrit 2.0 was the challenge which we could able to win, and we got a grant to demonstrate our idea. We are demonstrating it with Vadodara municipality. At this point of time, it will be complete by February, next February, and then that can be used to make our smart cities more smarter, because they have only one waste management unit that can be
Okay.
applied to the smart village or a smart house, so that we have a kind of our own energy and own fertilizer for the local societies. So our main focus
Um,
will remain bioremediation. We are working with a lot of industry now for their specific effluent, like petrochemical industry, the textile industry, and other industry, to find bioremediation for them, which can be sustainable. So goal of REVY is
wow.
bioremediation.
Beautiful. I am so excited as a human to see the future of our planet when you come up with such elegant solutions to all these things. And I'm really wishing you loads and loads of good luck and wishes. And I hope you materialize all the dreams that you have for Revi and for yourself, ma'am. Thank you so much for talking to me. This has been one of the most interesting conversations I've had in this season. And I'm so glad to have you here, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you so
you,
much.
thank you, thank you. Hopefully, you will be coming out with something. I just wanted to say one more thing, that everybody has to do, keep on segregating their waste, because don't treat waste as waste. This is very important. This mindset has to be changed. These waste are resources which you have extracted already. Now somebody will use it as a raw material to, if you want to really do reuse or recycling, this will be a feed material for something. It's not waste. Don't treat it like dumping thing. Just keep it very well so that somebody else can use it.
Right.
This
So
thing,
basically, कचरा कचरा नहीं है.
kachra kachra nahi hai. Kachra is a
Wow.
resource. You have to change your mindset. You can't say anything waste. It's just a resource which you don't need right now. It can be only the chilka which you are peeling off, or it can be any other
Right.
thing, a can which you have used. But it is not kachra, it's a resource
Wow.
that is really needed to be changed if we really want waste management or the sanitation to happen.
Perfect, ma'am. Thank you so much once again. It has been a pleasure talking to you.
Right. So it was very useful for me to just speak out what exactly I was feeling, what was my feeling around, and it's just not like a very professional talk. So that comfort you have given me, that's very important. Sometime you really need a listening ear, where I can tell what exactly as a startup founder I wanted to do, and how I could able to do it, and what were the things which has given me strength to reach to this point. So that was very important, and I feel that the other startup fellows also need these kinds of story to listen, to listen somewhere, so
Very
that
true.
they can also see, because everybody is having their own challenges and they have to face it. But sometimes we really need to see somebody that who has done it in this way, and to give those kind of stories which are from the real world. It is not a fictitious story, it's a real world story which you can share in a form where people can get benefited out of it.
Oh man, thank you so much. You absolutely made my day. Well, this brings us to the end of season one of Fountainhead with Chandni. I've been to STBI, I've met people over there, and trust me, it's a gold mine of inspirational stories and innovation. So let's hope there's a season two on cards. Dr. Anand Bhadalkar, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you for considering me for doing this. A special thanks to my ex colleague from Big FM, Amit Vadvaji, who is also the founder of Pod Club with Amit, from whom I learned the basics of podcasting. Thank you to all my friends and family for all the help, support, love, and cheer. And special thanks to you for watching Fountainhead with Chandni. Let's make the real heroes famous.